All right, hello everybody. You all know me, I'm Opal, and I work with Charlie and Sabrina at Bikers Inner Circle Radio. And what I am here in Rapid City, South Dakota, actually Rapid Valley, South Dakota, and I am here right now with Darren, the president of the Militiamen Veterans Motorcycle Club and the founder of the Ride Therapy Project. Ride Therapy Project is what we've been working on, and everybody's hearing about this calendar that we started to initiate our cause and to bring about awareness to what we're doing with Ride Therapy. Here in a minute, and we are with Reb Rider. Reb Rider is with the national group with the Ride or Die Brotherhood, and he is also the host of the Rapid Fire Radio. And we're getting ready right now to start an interview, and we're going to talk about what's going on with Ride Therapy and kind of do a little meet and greet. So here we go.
All right.
This is the MIB Radio Network, Rapid Fire Radio, coming at you, streaming nationwide and around the world, with the best iconic interviews, rock and roll music, and a variety of other music you can't get anywhere. The Reb Rider Show, broadcasting 24/7. This is the MIB Radio Network.
Woohoo!
Hey, what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Rapid Fire Radio's live right now with two guests, and we got an echo problem, but I just fixed that. And who's here? Who are we talking to?
Well,
Is it Opal?
Yes, it's Opal.
Opal, and Darren is here with the Militiamen VMC Veterans Group.
Yeah, Veterans
Am I correct?
Motorcycle Club.
Yeah,
Yep.
Veterans Motorcycle Club. I'll get it right one of these days. I was calling them the Minutemen earlier, but that's what they are anyway. So
Yeah.
we're glad you're with us.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to have you.
All right.
Glad to
Well,
be here.
what can you tell us? Why are you here? What are we going to talk about tonight? Aaron?
Well, we're going to actually talk about a charity that I started called the Ride Therapy Foundation. Reb, 22 veterans a day take their life. 22. And we know how trustworthy the government is to take care of us.
Yeah, they're our friends.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah, they're our friends.
so
yeah.
what we did, after losing 4 people I know to suicide, I decided that what I would do is try to find an outlet, something for these veterans to do to get their mind off of the place they're at. And what I thought was, when I'm having a bad day, when I'm having just a terrible time, when I got back from Iraq and I was struggling just to cope with day-to-day life, the thing that helped me most was to get on my bike, twist that throttle, and point it down the road. We call it wind therapy. I'm calling it ride therapy. And so what the charity is planning on doing is we will take and we will purchase a motorcycle for a veteran that is in need. And to top that off is if that veteran is nominated by someone, say his friend, and his friend doesn't have a motorcycle, we'll actually buy his friend a motorcycle too. So that way they
does this sound like the page that I'm on here?
and also aid and assist with like if they need to go through like riding lessons or rider modification adjustments and stuff like that, also to help them be able to possibly ride their bike if they have a physical disability or a physical limitation.
Exactly. If for example, if a person actually lost their leg in an IED attack, we would actually try to modify the bike to make the bike so it's rideable for them. And so we're looking for donations right now to actually raise that money, because
How much are we looking for?
we're looking for at minimum $20,000.
Well, if you're listening out there, help us out, everybody, and spread the word on Rapid Fire Radio. We're your radio station. You're the star. You can help us. And we're here to fight for freedom. And Darren and Opal here are here to help charity, and I find that fascinating, and I think it's very good. And another word I'd like to say, Darren, thank you, sir, for your service. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
He's a good battle buddy, and this is a battle that they continue to fight afterwards. And so it's when you have when you're out there and you're in the shit, and you're you have your battle buddies, and when you come home, sometimes people feel, and this is what the feedback that everybody's been giving me is, they feel like they don't have that buddy anymore. And and with the MCs and everything, just like how the MCs were established initially, they find a camaraderie, and they find those battle buddies home when they're home and everything. So this is there's buddies out there, and no one is forgotten. And that's something that's very important, and that people know that we do remember you, and everybody appreciates everything. All veterans from all theaters, also, not just everything, because no one is forgotten.
Yep.
Yeah. As Chief Executive Officer of the Ride or Die Brotherhood, I want to welcome you to our national office here, and your organization is welcome here anytime.
Oh,
We'd
thank you.
love to have
Thank you.
Anytime, stop in. The door is open for you, and you
I
too, Opal, and your
appreciate it.
organization.
Oh, well, thank you. I know that Charlie Brechtel with Bikers Inner Circle Radio and the Charlie Brechtel Band, and I know that also there's other groups and stuff, and they're all motorcycle riders, but they're also musicians and artists and just business people and everyday mom and dads and brothers and sisters and children, throughout, not just locally here in the western South Dakota area, but on a national level, are taking a very keen interest in what is happening and what is going on. And we hope to bring everybody together. This is a coalition.
Yes, it is.
Not a competition. Everybody working together from all different walks of life and all different backgrounds, but we all have something that we can all relate to, because I have yet to meet someone who doesn't have someone in their family or in their world, in their environment, that has not been affected by some theater of war of some kind within our generations. And with our populace being so large and our lifespans extending so much longer than it was many years ago, and the improvements in medical, even though it's kind of hard to get that, it still helps aid with what's going on. And so awareness is key, and that's what's very important. That's how Darren and I were brought together. And also like the Twisted Misfits, MC, Soldiers for Jesus, a lot of the other clubs and riding groups. Yeah, the Chubb Brothers, and like the different venues and everything, Robbinsdale Lounge, the Knuckle, the Buffalo Chip. Those groups and those people and those entities and those environments are how we all came together in one way or the other.
Give us a little history on your organization.
You talking about Militiamen?
Yeah.
Militiamen we're founded by a bunch of National Guard members, and what we were looking for was that bond between military and public servants, firefighters, police officers, EMTs, all that, so that way we can all get together and we can hang out and do good things for the community. Back in the day, the National Guard was all about local community events, and so as the War on Terror evolved, the National Guard's involvement in the community diminishes. Lawsuits, all this other stuff, it just makes it tougher for the Guard to step forward and help the community. So what we decided was, hey, let's step forward, let's do this. So we got together so we can actually help the community, the people out there. It doesn't matter if you are military, law enforcement, or anything like that. If you need help, if you need something, say you're moving and you need help moving, you let us know, and we will try to do whatever we can to find someone to help you. And that's what we do. If a soldier is deployed and his or her spouse runs into issues where by chance they're moving, or they have a flood, or there's a fire, they can call us and we will be there to give them assistance. On the Ride Therapy Project, if anyone's interested in becoming part of this, they can actually go to Facebook and look up Ride Therapy Project. That'll get you right to our Facebook page. In the process of building a web page and all that other stuff now, but we're kind of in our infancy right now, so just in the process. But get out there, like the page, and as soon as we start getting our banking and all that other stuff set up, hopefully we'll start seeing the donations roll in, and we can actually show to these veterans that nobody rides alone.
Well, and that's commendable, and we're with you, brother. We're with you.
Thank you.
I think it's neat as heck, and these are the kind of things that we want. We're on the same page. We do the same exact thing. It's mirrored of what you have just told me, and this is good. And Opal, you're to be commended, you and Darren both, for trying to bring folks together, because that's been the dream of the Ride or Die Brotherhood since 1989, and we have evolved from one to the next to the next. We're now at the third level, and the third level is a brotherhood to bring everybody together. Now, anybody that knows the Reb Rider out there knows that he takes homeless people into our organization and turns their lives around. I've done it several times already.
Nice.
And I'll just tell you a brief story. I found a gal living in her Jeep, and that was her house. Well, we brought her over here, and there was a suicide attempt, which I personally stopped. And I told this gal, inside there is a beautiful woman, and we need to bring that out. Well, the first thing we did was do the Reb's 1,000 step program, and that's where we get up at 5 in the morning and walk from national headquarters to Highway 44 and back up again every day. Well, we managed to get her to lose 30 pounds. The beautiful woman in her came out. Then we introduced her to Harley Davidson, to an '89 Heritage Softail Classic, and you couldn't keep her off of it.
Wind therapy, ride therapy,
and
therapy,
that gal,
ride
I'll tell you,
therapy.
she was so happy. And then we found her a nice young man who was a postal worker, and she is married to this day and tremendously happy, and still looks good as to the time that I met her. So this is what the Ride or Die Brotherhood does. We try to help the citizenry and the homeless and the afflicted, the widow and the orphan, and that's what we're about.
Wonderful.
Very good.
Wonderful. One thing that we have coming up to introduce the Ride Therapy Project to the community and everything is Darren. I met Darren at the Twisted Misfits NC. They had a benefit for the Black Hills Special Olympics, and Darren and the Militiamen VMC had shown up, and we were introduced kind of somewhat briefly, and then we communicated and we got together the following Friday, and Darren filled me in on what his idea was, and that he'd like to try to start a calendar. And he wanted to kind of know my ideas about this and kind of fill me out and stuff like that. So we discussed it, and that very evening we asked our first model. Her name is Lisa Norton, and she was working at the Robbinsdale Lounge, and she was our first model that we asked. And then it just snowballed from there. I just so happened to go out looking for locations to shoot, and someone had mentioned Boondocks, and Boondocks had been sold at an auction, and nobody knew who the owners were. Well, we happened to just show up by driving through the hills looking for different locations that were 40s and 50s kind of era, kind of theme possibilities for photo locations. And we pull up, and I happened to luck into meeting Jim and Sarah Solano. They are the new owners of Boondocks, located on Highway 385, Deadwood Lead area. And when I kind of told them, I asked if they knew how we can get a hold of owners because we'd like to try to shoot. She says, well, we are. And we were able to shoot at that location, at the gas station, and at the actual, little car hop cafe and the little garage theme that was there. And it was an incredible experience.
It was. I've seen the pictures. They're awesome. And it takes you, it's like it takes you back in time.
It does.
Yeah.
And,
Fantastic.
and on that note, to take you back in time, the reason why I was here and I stayed in this area was because Ken McNinney, one of the owners of the Knuckle Saloon there in Sturgis, South Dakota, Ken, we'd done a little interview, myself and Angelina Gardner, who is associate and partner with me with ANO Radio, with Bikers Inner Circle Radio. We interviewed Ken, and then after our interview, Ken said that he would like to introduce us to Neil and Ramona Holtman. Neil is one of the original Jack Pine Gypsies, and actually Bob Moore also. And so he made arrangements for us to go out there. Well, while we were there, we did this interview with Neil Holtman, and Neil was able to tell his story and the story of the Jack Pine Gypsies and how the rally started and the tours and everything, and then the hill climb, and then the short track, and how everything has just gone from what they initially started as a group of people coming together, brothers, getting some ride therapy and everything, doing what they do, and to what is now known as the Sturgis Rally. And while I was there was a photo of Neil and Ramona on one of their date nights when he came back, coming back from Korea. And he was on his 47 Indian that he bought from Pappy Hoyle. And there was a
The
picture.
actual one, then.
Yeah, the actual, yeah. He rode for Pappy's race team. And Neil Holtman actually is the Jack Pine Gypsy that had the silver cup. So that's very important, everybody. And Neil and Bob and those guys, they were the crazy guys that would ride up Bear Butte and that group of those younger ones, and then they had to figure out how to get back down. To hear them talk, it's like, oh, you guys are nuts.
So, Opal, is there anybody you don't know? Darren's laughing here, folks. He knows.
Well, through the years, and I've met quite a few people, amazing people from all different clubs, groups, associations, different businesses, in film, the motorcycle community, the arts and entertainment, and just everyday people, because we're all everyday people.
Yes,
it doesn't matter who you are or who you ride with or anything. We're still, like I said, we're moms, we're dads, we're fathers, daughters, sons, mothers, someone's child. And so, and like I said, and all of us in one way, shape, form, or another have been affected by the effects of war. And and people have their different political positions, but when it comes to the universal family stand and our nation and everything, everybody that I associate with, for the most part, and that's my choice, we all stand very tried and true, and we do believe in our rights, and the very rights that the wind that blows the flag is the breath of every soldier.
Let me throw a scenario out there for you, Reb. You work for a Fortune 500 company. You have an accident at work. You lose a leg. How much money does that Fortune 500 company pay you?
I'd like to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're a soldier in the United States Army. You step on a landmine, you lose a leg. The percent that you get doesn't even come close to what you get in corporate America.
It's shameful.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
it's
agree.
terrible. And our
that's-
soldiers are
Soldiers,
doing a
Marine, Airmen,
heck of a
our
job
Guard,
for
our
us.
Coast Guard,
I
everybody.
can't thank them enough. I can't thank you enough.
And
Our sailors.
that's the purpose of this, is
Right.
to try to help offset that complete lack of financial, emotional support that us as service members lose when we come home. And
Well, also
we
enhance
step
their
away from
quality
that
of life.
brotherhood.
It also
Yeah.
try to help enhance that quality of
Right.
life that they feel is no longer there, and it helps cleanse them too. Helps get them out of their head by themselves.
I don't know what you think out there, listening audience, but bikers have hearts of gold. And when it comes to the veterans, some of the things that I've come across has touched me deeply. And it hardens my resolve to stand tall with our brothers and sisters, Opal and Darren, and all the rest of us, to make a go of it and do what the right thing and what is right, and put this country back to greatness where it belongs.
I agree.
Absolutely, absolutely. We want to say thank you oh so very much for having us come out and do this.
Well,
And
I'd
on
love to
behalf-
have you guys back again.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and we
Yeah.
would love, and I know that I'm going to talk with Charlie and Sabrina, and we'd like to be able to interview you and everything, and
Oh,
with
you
Darren
betcha.
also on Bikers Inner Circle Radio, so they can kind of get an idea of what you guys are doing too, because Bikers Inner Circle is everybody together too, all
Right.
different groups, independent writers, everything. It's Bikers Inner Circle.
This is an awesome interview. I'm glad I met you. I feel like I've always known you, and I'm proud to know you.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
we're very honored to be here.
Yeah, and
Thank
I'm
you.
honored to have you.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
you guys, we're going to cut this off now because he's going to get to some music and everything. Thank you very much. If you guys are watching this, and please pass the word about the ride therapy. We've got the Rapid Fire Radio, Bikers Inner Circle Radio, and of course, Ride Therapy Project.
Support it, folks. Support it.
Yep.
We need your help.
Ride or Die Brotherhood, right here.
All right, we're going back to music. Good to have him here in the studio. One of the best interviews I've done so far, and I just find it fascinating. And I'm out of here for now. I'll be back about 7 o'clock with the Reb Rider Show. This was a special edition that we took the time to put this together. We're glad you're with us. Tell your friends, tell everybody. Rapid Fire Radio. If you want to be a public donor to help us out, we have been helped out, but we can use your help to stay on the air because internet radio is not cheap.
No, it's not.
All
No,
right.
it's not.
And Opal's still with us here.
Yep.
All right. Have a good evening out there. This is Rapid Fire Radio. I'm going to leave you with Sam Morrison Band, a fantastic song called Something Strong on Rapid Fire Radio.